prayed for this and it happened.
Uncle fucking House, who's supposed to be
Are the shoes of a champion. This jacket right here, shoes of a champion.
Hey, what's that?
No beans. Yeah! Yeah!
All right. We are back. It is another episode of the Dev and Dilly podcast. It's episode number 15. We have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot that went down in the last week of professional wrestling. And I think the first thing that I should ask is, OG, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Living the dream down here in rainy Florida.
Rainy? I didn't even know it rained down there.
Bro, it's crazy. It rains for 2 hours and it dries up for an hour, and it rains some more.
Really?
It dries up. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but we're good, man. There's no snow, so.
Yeah, you guys don't get snow.
Yeah, fuck that snow.
Son of a bitch. All right, but at the end of the day, we have, like I said, a lot to talk about in the world of professional wrestling. We had not one, but two pay-per-views that happened this past weekend. One was fucking amazing. One was a fucking debacle, and we'll get into both of them as we talk about it here. But before we get into, actually, you know what? We're gonna start because everything else that happened was pretty much not to do with the pay-per-view. So we're going to start with Money in the Bank that happened on Saturday. Overall, before we go match by match, OG, your overall thoughts on the pay-per-view?
I just felt like it was kind of drawn out. Seemed to be long. We've talked about the number of matches and pay-per-views for WWE versus like AEW. So I feel like that's what we're looking at again. Overall, I mean, I think the money in the bank matches were good. But I just feel like it was drawn out. That's the part I was like, why is this shit taking like so long? We don't even have that many matches. It's like it's still going on, So, but overall, I like the lead-ins to where the different stories can go. So that's the part that really kind of excited me about both pay-per-views. Just kind of showing where the stories can go. But yeah, money in the bank, I definitely thought was drawn out. Crazy.
Yeah, this was the lowest rated pay-per-view that I've given WWE all year. I gave it a 7.7, 7.5. I thought that the two Money in the Bank matches saved it from being a bad pay-per-view. So I would say it was mid. It was middle of the road. Yeah, nothing special. It's a pay-per-view that at the end of the year, you won't come back talking about it too much, in my opinion.
No.
But we can get into it match by match, starting off with the first match of the night, which was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. In my opinion, Andrade and Carmelo Hayes were the MVPs of the match. They did the most. It was great. There was great spots with the and the Yeet with Jey Uso and LA Knight. The insane ladder spots with the sunset flip for Andrade and then the power bomb with LA Knight. And then you finally lead it to the end of Jey Uso all alone, gets speared with a fucking ladder by Drew McIntyre. Speared him with that motherfucker. Drew McIntyre wins the Money in the Bank. Now, before we get into what happens later in the night, just this point right here, okay? How did you feel about them giving it to Drew?
Okay. I was okay with giving it to Drew. As the other stories for other people, you kind of can see their writing on the wall where they're going with it. I was completely fine with them giving it to Drew because I was anticipating the next step. Somehow, some way, the thing that happens next, I was anticipating it to happen that night anyway. I agree with you 100%. Andrade and Carmelo definitely, they were MVPs of it. Because everything else is like you kind of expected it to happen. So, but what they were doing to me was so entertaining. It was just good. You know what I mean? So that was great. But I'm okay with Drew getting it.
Yeah, I was okay with it too. I was shocked, but it was almost like, wow, because and I said this what would you call it before? I said I just think it would be so funny if Drew won the briefcase, only for it to be used for Punk to screw him over again. And we sat here and we laughed on the podcast, and right when he won the briefcase, I mean, I hate to say that was the first thing that popped into my head was, oh wait a minute, they might actually do this. And we'll get into what happens later in the night, but after that happened, I was like, okay, I can get the case for why Carmelo, Andrade, LA Knight didn't win. Gable, like you said, is doing other stuff. The only person that I guess I was a little confused by was I thought they were going to give it to Jay, and they didn't pull that trigger. And Jay would have been somebody that would have been good to have the briefcase, because in this whole bloodline story for the next year, to just have that for the next year and just know that at any point Jay could cash in, I thought would be really cool. But I think that they're just doing their own thing. Jay, Devin was talking to me the other day, and Devin was like, hey, on the pod, make sure you say something about, how Jey Uso, he's so good with the whole yeet before he leaves thing, and he's so funny. And I was like, you don't want me talking about Jey Uso on the podcast because I'm going to highlight the fact that he's a glorified loser. And ever since WrestleMania, every single big match that he's been in, he's just continued to lose.
Yeah.
So we could talk about this for a second. Jey Uso, do you still look at him like you're calling yourself main event Jey Uso? Do you still look at him like a main event Jey Uso? Because I'm going to be honest, I look at him like a mid-card Jey Uso who's really over, like LA Knight last year.
Yeah, so what I think is he's had his run, his singles run. I think it's the setup to take him back to the tag with his brother. I do say like mid card to me. The think is cool, he's had his moment. But the fucking losing, bro, is just the stupidest thing ever. Like the man, he should have had some singles gold. But it's like every big match he loses. I'm like, okay, like back in the day, there was the Brooklyn Brawler. He was just one guy that got in, everybody whooped his ass. Everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they had those guys who have no name and just come in there and get tossed around and shit, like my Omos or some shit. Those kind of people. He's a glorified person like those guys. Like he loses all of them. He gets the crowd hype and then he loses. So I'm over the losing part of it. I think that he's seen more. They've given him more. They've written more success for him with the tag team space. I thought that they kind of missed the mark after he left the Bloodline. He had a little popularity singles, but he still didn't win shit. He's just getting his ass kicked. It's kind of irritating just watch every week. Just keep getting his ass kicked. Like it's like, bro, come on. So I think it was a good run. He got his little, singles run out of him. Now I think he's just leading back to tagging with his brother.
Yeah,
tag team division, though. Truthfully, to me, they need something. You know what I mean? So I think it's where it's going.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Second match of the night, and this is where things started to get bad. This is where I started to get a little upset. So we had Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn, and okay, so I want to break this down in two parts. I've said it once, I'll say it again. A match can be a 10 out of 10, but if the finish is bad, it's bad, okay? I'm sorry. And that was how I felt about this match. Felt like the match was great. These two came in, and they did what we expected. They put on a banger match. They did some crazy shit in the ring, crazy shit outside the ring, back in the ring, crazier shit. But for Braun Breaker to get hit with one haluva kick and just get 1, 2, 3 after he was built up like an unstoppable beast, to me was very perplexing, very confusing.
Yeah.
And that is what damaged this match to me. And I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, it's Sammy Hogan or Sammy can't lose this and that. And I don't think that was the problem. I think the problem was it was one haluva kick, and then it was 1, 2, 3, and then it was over, and it almost felt like shocking that was it.
Yeah.
So that to me overall damaged, the match. But what do you think?
No, I agree, because so the build up of Braun was that he was like this Brock Lesnar type of intense guy who he's gonna have to hit his ass like 5 haluva kicks, and for it to go that way, I was fucking shocked. I was like, what the hell? I mean, we talked about Sammy already, but it's just like they were building Braun up as is like he is like is going to be that guy, and maybe that's why they had to play it out this way to kind of shock everybody. But I was very disappointed with the outcome. The finish definitely missed the mark to me. Um, Again, they were building, having weeks investing in spending time investing into him. Is it Brown's going to be like eater of worlds, that kind of shit? And for him, just one haluva kick, 1, 2, 3, and I was like, that was it. Like I don't know, it was completely lackluster to me.
Yeah, it felt like, okay, they're finally going to pull the trigger on just putting Braun Breaker in this main event spot. And then they didn't pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah.
And what I hated was, to me, it almost kind of spoiled the Money in the Bank match. I could have been the asshole who texted in the group chat to you and Dev and spoiled the women's Money in the Bank match to you, but I didn't. I kept it to myself. But I knew the second that Sammy won, I go, oh, fuck, the Canadian already won in Canada. Chelsea Green's not winning Money in the Bank. Yeah. I knew it instantly. I knew it because I was like, oh, fuck. They had Sammy win in Canada, so now Chelsea's not going to win. And it made me so sad knowing that. And I literally was texting into the group chat and was like, they both have Chelsea to win. Don't be that asshole. And I backed it all back up. But, yeah, this was a thumbs down for me, bro. I got to be honest. And it was sucks because it was a good match. But
the other part, I'll talk about the story all the time. It was like, okay, so where's this going? That's what it's leaving. It's like this not. I have no interest in, like, if they come on Raw, I get up and like fucking like go take a shower or something. Like I have no interest in seeing where Sammy and Ron, where this thing it goes. And I think that was the miss to me. Is like to take the next part of the story someplace else. And I was like,
yeah,
you're gonna see it again. Like I don't want to see them fight again.
Well, Braun came out. Did you see what happened on Raw?
Yeah.
Braun came out on Raw and basically I did like how he was like, look, I know how this works. Now that I lost, I have to go to the back of the line. But look, and he just spears the shit out of him. And it's like, well, and then he spears the shit out of him again outside the ring. And I'm like, okay, here's the one thing that I'm going to tell myself. And I think you are probably going to do the same. So we're building for Braun and him at SummerSlam. And then we're going to pull the trigger at SummerSlam. Okay, right? Mm-hmm. Why the fuck did we have this at Money in the Bank? What was the point? We could have had him versus Sheamus. I get Ludwig was hurt. We could have had him versus Bronson Reed. We could have had him versus so many other people and then save Braun Breaker for SummerSlam. I don't think we needed to have Braun lose so cleanly at Money in the Bank if the plan is going to be them to do it again at SummerSlam.
True.
Why did we do it?
It's almost like it was done just to put Braun on a pay-per-view.
Yes, just to like elevate, like, hey,
that's all.
What will get the most eyes on the IC title match? Yep. If that was the case, and you really had to do that, and I'll let you fact check me if you think I'm incorrect, then don't put that on the pay-per-view and put Zelina and Liv Morgan or DIY and Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, one of those two title matches on the pay-per-view instead, because those are both really good matches.
Yeah, I would have much enjoyed that much more. It didn't even seem like it was a pay-per-view match. Honestly, it was just like that could have been Raw. Easy.
Yes, and that's what I didn't like. And then it was like, okay, so now we're just gonna do it again. But moving on. We didn't have something that was a match, but we did have something that was a pretty fucking big deal. John Cena came out, and I want to take this one away because I get where you came from on he wasn't your era.
Nope.
You didn't grow up with John Cena. Okay.
Nope.
I grew up, John Cena was our Hulk Hogan. John Cena is The Rock. John Cena is my first favorite wrestler, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, I got to be honest, I think I've seen the compilations on the internet, and a lot of wrestling fans reacted just like me. They saw Cena come out, and were super excited. Then they saw the towel, and it said, the last time is now, and everyone went, oh, shit. Wait a minute. Here's the kicker for me. For those of you who don't know, I watched this pay-per-view on vacation in Cincinnati. So I was watching the John Cena retirement out to eat like half watching with an AirPod in. I didn't see the towel. I didn't see the shirt. I didn't see any of it. I just saw him come to the ring, and then I was like, oh, John Cena's cutting a promo. Turn it up. And then he hits me with the, I'm announcing my retirement. Bro, my eyes started watering at the fucking dinner table. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? Tyler, next to me, casual, he goes, give me an AirPod. Because he's like, because, he's invested now. He's got an AirPod in. He's listening. And, he says, this Royal Rumble is going to be my last Royal Rumble. And I look at Tyler and I go, it's in Indiana. It's only a 4-hour drive. And now me and Tyler are genuinely talking about going to Indiana for the Royal Rumble because it's the closest distance because I want to see John Cena on this farewell tour. And I say that to show you that's how big of a deal this is. This is like, let me put this in a term you'll understand. This is like Amon-Ra St. Brown being like, this is my final year of football, or Calvin Johnson when he was like, this is my final year of football, and you want to see Calvin play one more time before it's the end of his year. You know what I mean? That's the feeling I have with John Cena, and I know a lot of wrestling fans do because he is the, GOAT of our era. And one thing as much as this made me sad, that made me happy is a lot of legends in the wrestling company do not get to retire on their own terms. A lot of wrestlers have to retire because of retirement or their body's just broken down and they can't do it anymore. Cena is in a rare case where I think he knows he can have one last year, 2025, from start to finish, because he said he's going to be done wrestling at the end of the year. So I think he'll be fighting most of 2025, where he can put on good matches, win a 17th world championship, and genuinely have a run where he's not getting thumbed 30 times by Solo and putting over younger talent. Genuinely, where he's back to, the Super Cena for a little bit, and people will be okay with that because we know this is the farewell tour.
All right, so my turn. Okay, so John Cena is
nice. He's a good guy.
So here's my other thing. He's not from my era. He's not. So I don't give a shit about John Cena. I remember when he came in and he was fucking corny and shit. You know what I mean? Trying to rap. It was too corny. I'm not he is your guys. He is your Hulk Hogan. So that comparison for me, I completely understand what that feels like. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But different from Hulk Hogan. I remember Hulk Hogan became Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and that was like it reinvigorated the whole fucking craze. But I think the thing about it for me is when he got in the ring last, to me, he definitely is a shell of himself. He isn't the same. He isn't the same. None of these old guys are. Let's fucking be honest. None of these old guys are. The Rock wasn't the same. He's not the same. But I think if he was gonna retire, like, just fucking retire. I don't.
Can I give you a counter argument to that statement though?
Yeah.
Do you think that John Cena in his little 2-3 month run that he had in WWE,
Yeah.
right after that he'd go right back to movies?
Yeah.
So I almost feel like they were limiting him, like he couldn't do that much because they don't want to risk him getting hurt because he has a big fucking movie right after. So do you think that could have played a part in that? Because
it could have. I think it could have, but I think it probably has more so to do with him being old.
Okay.
Fucking old body man.
Yeah.
And fucking hair's gone, hiding the ball spot, all kind of shit. You know what I mean? But I feel like I don't really feel like we don't need a fucking swan song here, buddy. Like you fucking gonna retire.
Well, I mean, he is the greatest. He's the greatest of all time in terms of statistics.
Yeah.
He is the greatest of all time. Ric Flair, a lot of people want to say he's a 16-time world champion. He won 15 of those world championships, not with WWE. John Cena won 16 world championships, all with WWE.
So I like these little monikers they come out with and say he's the greatest of all time. It's cute. That's a personal opinion to me.
Right.
But I do feel like
it's because sorry to keep cutting you off. It's because he hasn't, like Hulk Hogan or any of these other legends, he hasn't tainted his image by doing some stupid shit in the media. You know what I mean? That's why they're comfortable calling him the GOAT. Like Ric Flair, he keeps fighting in other companies. Hulk Hogan, he said the N-word. So they don't want to call them the GOAT when they have Cena.
But I think wrestlers. I mean, I don't. That's a separate argument. But I think because I was like, who's the GOAT? I'm thinking like Mount Rushmore. I would never say Cena. But I just feel like It's like when NBA players do the same kind of shit. It announced at this point I'm retiring. So then, like, I mean, Kobe kind of did that. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
he's one of the goats. So it's like, but I'm not a person who's into that. Like, I don't like a lot of the
Okay.
attention focus on me at that time. So like, if you're gonna fucking retire, just go and fucking retire. Be done. You know what I'm saying? So seeing the company do that, it's like, bro, if you're gonna show up for events, it's the pop is much better when you just come and you're in versus like now I'm looking for you and shit. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of corny to me. And so I don't really need him to say, I'm gonna be at every WrestleMania, I'm gonna be at WrestleMania, I'm gonna be here, be there. It's like whoop de fucking do. You know what I mean? It's like if you're gonna show up, you come be a part of the story and show up. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you. That's why it's like with the whole pay-per-view, there was like I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why is John Cena here? We talked about it in the chat. Like, why is he even here? But it's
Yeah,
like
I had no idea.
to his sad ass, make everybody feel like shit for a moment because people whose generation he's a part of now feel sad and shit because this fucker saying he's retiring and this is my last time. And you know what I mean? And we all know there really is no last time in WWE. You know what I mean? All these fucking legends always show up in these random ass spots. So there really isn't a retirement. There's really no last time. You know, but I'm like, a lot of these guys are older guys, absolutely. You won't be as I mean, look at Braun Strowman. You know what I mean? These guys are older, absolutely. But it's just corny to me that you have to come out and say, "Hey, everybody, I want to make one last trip." Because I'm like, if you're gonna fucking retire, fucking just retire. We all know you're not really full time anyway. You're an actor. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to come out and fucking. You know what I mean? Get it.
You're good. You're good. Oh, everyone, just in case you don't know what's going on, he's getting a phone call. That's why his shit is being. Why you can't hear him right now. All right, you're good, OG.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's my take.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'm gonna be honest. I was not ready for that, but I'm happy that I got that perspective. But okay, if Hulk Hogan came out and said, "I'm doing one more year," would you have the same opinion?
Fuck yeah, bro.
Okay, I'm just making sure this is a for everyone.
Yeah, for everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing
100%.
I've always felt, no matter the athletic space, arena, sports team, whatever, when your favorites get to a certain point and they look like like fragments of who they used to be, it's almost sad. It's like, damn, he can't even fucking do you can't see me the right way anymore. Or he did the wrong hand. It's like that kind of shit where it's like, damn, I started to feel bad. So it's like I would rather not see my favorites or people who I watched go out all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I get that.
look at Shaq when Shaq retired. He played. You know what I mean? It's like, what is going on? Why is he on Phoenix this year? The next year
Shaq
he's
couldn't
on.
walk down the damn court.
You know what I'm saying? It's like just retire already, buddy. Just like don't have me at a press conference. Now I would have thought that would have been different to me had Cena come out at a press conference or before it or after and said it different. But this fucker came down to the ring. Everybody got a hype, trying to figure out what the fuck is he doing, and then he waving a sad ass towel around. It was like, bro, did you really have to do this shit? Like sit down somewhere, man. Like get out of here.
So now that that's happened, I do think I do want to say this though. Two things. One, I think once Cena's done, I do think he will be done, and I don't mean that in terms of like you won't see him in WWE again. I mean that like when he's done wrestling, that motherfucker will be done wrestling, and he will not be coming back to get put through table spots and stuff. No, he will be done. Like in the ring, and I think there's a high chance that you'll see Cena in like a role in WWE, whether it's just backstage helping young wrestlers, doing you know what I mean, whatever. But I do think that once he's done, a lot of these wrestlers like it's not gonna be a Ric Flair situation. This motherfucker is gonna be like, I'm coming back for one more match. No, he will be done. He will be done. Yeah. So I do think that.
That's a good move, though. I agree. He gives a vibe when he's done. He's really done. Which to me, I do respect that. Like, done already. I do feel like because most of these guys when they go out, they want to put somebody over. The only concern I have about now working Cena into the storyline of things is which story does he get worked into?
Well, here's the thing. I think you can explore as many as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, like you have a story with the Wyatt Six and everything that happened with Bray Wyatt. You have a story with Randy Orton, one of his greatest rivals that was over there. Damn, I wish Edge was still in WWE just because, you know what I mean? But you can revisit the thing with The Miz, all the things they had. There's so many things that they can just touch on with Awesome Truth. Like he had that thing with R-Truth before as well. There's so many different things they can touch on before John Cena leaves. And I think they should genuinely try to touch on all of them before he leaves. Because once he leaves, that's going to be you're not going to have another chance to do that. CM Punk and John Cena. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things.
I feel like whatever it's going to be is going to require less. It's going to be less demanding physically for him.
Yes. And the good thing about Cena is, and you know this just as well as I do, he's at that point now where he's one of the best promo artists in the game.
For sure.
So even though he doesn't have to be in the ring, a lot of the time Cena just has to talk shit. He's one of the few people who can announce a pay-per-view 5 weeks in advance, have 0 matches before the pay-per-view, and you're hyped as fuck because he has made you want to buy it with just his words. And I think he's going to be doing a lot of that.
I'll give him that, man. That's why I think that something like the Wyatt Six, that something because that doesn't, it would help push them over, that kind of thing. And maybe not them necessarily, but I could not something just too physically demanding, like But it'll be interesting to see how he gets worked into a story and which avenue to explore for him, to carry him through next year. I think maybe toward the end of this year they start planting the seed. Well, that kind of planted the seed for it, but do a little bit more of that. And then next year, kick it off with him, like you know what I mean? Because I can see him. I can see the Roman recipe, like not showing for every show, every SmackDown or Raw. Like I could see them using that kind of formula, which to me will give some of these older guys a little bit more run and life in their last runs. So which is cool though. Which I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Just work him in good, and he'll probably put somebody over. I don't want to see him fucking win. I don't think that would be fucking ridiculous because then that throws everything off. So because WWE for like the last 2 years, the last couple years, fell in love heavy with setting all the fucking records. Can we please stop that shit? Like
I do think that Cena is going to not put people over until WrestleMania. Like I think he's gonna beat a veteran. I think he's gonna beat like a Randy or somebody that he doesn't have to put over. And here's the last thing I will say, okay? Just because this is a throw a pin at the dartboard, shot in the dark, something to come back to in a year and a half, okay? Just something I want to throw out there.
All right, let's see.
John Cena's final match in WWE, he's going to put over LA Knight. That's just a shot in the dark, throw the ball, just from the storytelling that I saw from last year and and everything. I think that's going to be his final passing of the torch thing. I think I'm a year and a half away.
I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect though.
Just a shot in the dark.
LA Knight's character is kind of like it's compared to like an Attitude Era kind of guy. John Cena from that time. I think that'd be the perfect way.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's just we'll see what happens there though.
Yeah,
but thank you. But the next match that we will get to is the third match of the night, which is the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest for the world title.
Dude, I have never in my life I love watching for those very like real time fuck ups. Let's just call it what it is.
Oh yeah.
I have never seen so many botched moments.
So first things first, Seth is your world heavyweight champion. I mean, can we just call it what it is? Whoa! Do I got a clip or something I can play? I mean, god damn it. Do I? Wait, I do.
That feels good.
Oh, you're damn right that feels good, Pat. He won.
He won.
I saw Nobody kicked out.
Wait, Damian saw it too. He just laid there.
Damian looked and said, "Oh, fuck." Well, here's what I think was supposed to happen.
What, daydreaming? What the fuck was he doing?
I think I didn't know what was supposed to happen until the promo on Raw the next day, okay? When Seth Rollins said in the promo, I would be world heavyweight champion if it wasn't for Drew McIntyre costing me. I was like, oh, McIntyre's music was supposed to hit at 2. It was supposed to be 1, 2, hing, McIntyre's theme. That's why he didn't kick out. I was like, oh,
okay.
it wasn't the wrestlers. It was production who fucked it. It wasn't Priest. It wasn't Rollins. It was the WWE guy who, because they did the 1, 2, 3. What the fuck's going on? Like that should be 3. He didn't kick out, and then Drew's theme hit like 3 seconds after. So the production team is what fucked it. So I can't give Priest any BS or any harps because I mean he was supposed to kick out. So it was a botch on the production team.
Oh jeez.
And that's what ended up happening. So
that's those moments like that is like, oh shit, that's interesting.
A lot of people thought that Drew was like knocked out. That's why he
I
didn't kick out.
I thought, oh really?
Yeah, a lot of people were like, oh, maybe Drew's like fucking hurt.
I thought Damien just fucked up. Well, I was like, maybe that motherfucker just didn't kick out.
Oh shit, he forgot to kick out.
Ah shit, I didn't kick out. You know what I mean? That's what I thought. But it's interesting to hear even the aspect of the production. That was the real reason why.
That was
he didn't kick out, which is interesting to because I watched the Raw afterwards too, but I didn't get that. But not saying that, I was like, okay, I totally see why he said that. That makes sense.
Because once he said that, it was like, because for those of you who don't know, there are scripts in wrestling. Yes, so it tells me that the script was music hitting on 2, and that's why Seth said I'd be champion if it wasn't for Drew McIntyre costing me, because Drew McIntyre didn't really cost me the match.
True.
Seth didn't get pinned. He pinned Damien. You know what I mean? But then Drew's music hit after that. Okay, first off, the match between just Damien and Seth, that was a great match.
Yeah.
They were cooking. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
banger match. Seth, you wouldn't think he tore his fucking MCL 4 months ago. I'll tell you that much. Great match. Drew's music hit. Drew comes out. Don't lie to me. Was there any part of you that thought Drew was going to win the world title? Any part of you? Because there was one part of me when he what do you call it? When he claymored Seth, and then it was just him and Damien, and he was doing like the 3 right before he got attacked, and he was doing like I'm about to claymore him. I was like, if he hits his claymore, it's game. If he hits his claymore, it's game. If he hits his claymore, oh, it's CM Punk.
Yeah, you know what? Because I remember we knew that CM Punk was gonna screw him. We knew that's happening.
Yes.
I never thought he was gonna win because I was anticipating.
But I thought he was gonna screw him on though.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna screw him. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be in the Money in the Bank match. That's where he was screwed at. I didn't think it would happen at this point, but after he comes out, I'm like, oh, CM Punk's coming out somewhere. So I'm just looking for CM Punk at this point. So I'm like, Drew's now cashing in. I'm like, he said he was gonna do it. He fucking cashing in. I'm like, CM Punk's gonna screw this guy out of this shit, you know. So that part for me, we knew was coming. But I like this part too. That when CM Punk screws Drew, he also fucks up Seth's shit. Yeah. So Seth, after the match, Seth is like yelling, which to me, this is the part, the story shit that I like. That little detail right there. So CM Punk, you caused Drew and Seth the world title.
Yeah.
Now you have an angle to play again for Drew and Seth to go at CM Punk and kind of the 3-way kind of match, whatever. But it was just good storytelling at that point to me to have Seth fucking going off, and then to get to Raw and like their little feud thing is almost completely reignited. You know what I mean? Before anybody gets hurt,
they already hated each other.
Yeah,
which is great. Hate each other.
Love it.
All right, okay, hate it. I'm the opposite. I hate it. I was so mad. I was pissed. Okay, so I'm gonna actually solo myself because this is me. I felt like they fucking wasted the briefcase. I felt like what they did was they took a briefcase to elevate a storyline that was already. Actually, you know what? I want to bring you back because I want to know how you feel about this. I felt like they had their best storyline. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk was their best storyline right now. That match we already know is happening at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. It's a one-on-one blood feud. It's gonna be great. They didn't need to do this. They didn't need to do the Money in the Bank to elevate this. They basically took a forest fire that was burning and said, let's pour a little more gasoline on it. They didn't need to do it. They could have used this briefcase, which now we don't get to use the entire year. It's gone in 2 hours just to elevate a CM Punk and Drew McIntyre story. I'm pissed. And I know I talked to Dev. He feels the same way. It's bullshit that he won the briefcase and it was wasted in an hour and a half to elevate a feud that was already the best feud. That makes me mad knowing that something that, in my opinion, is one of the most fun things to have all year, like the Money in the Bank briefcase, is now flushed away to elevate something that didn't need to be elevated.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a very relevant point, man. I mean, it really didn't. I mean, even if Drew had come out but not cashed it in, that would have still kind of swung and did what happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
That same thing could have happened.
And Drew
CM
would have
Punk could
been
have
an
tagged Drew.
insufferable. Drew would have
Yep.
been an insufferable Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Like every week, whenever it's like a situation of, you know what? I'm not even worried about the world title. I'm not even chasing it. I'm just worried about killing CM Punk because I have the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah.
You had it. You fucking had it right there, and you threw it away in
Yeah.
90 minutes.
Yeah. No,
I
I
can't
was.
break this chair because I already broke my last chair.
Oh
But
shit.
fuck me, man. I'm getting mad. Damn it.
Yeah. No, that was a moment. I think they definitely. He could have came out without getting in the match, without catching it in, and could have milked that shit some more. That still would have been, because CM Punk could have attacked him. That still would have had the same pop, probably even more, because they could have fought.
And you
all
know
the-
what? If he would have done that, you would have still got the same result of him costing him the world title for the third time.
True. Same thing.
We gotta move on. I'm gonna smash my computer in a minute. All right. Happy thoughts. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Oh, that's fucking good.
Sorry, I just had to.
Great.
That's just that. That's what makes me smile, so I don't get angry.
He smiles when he does it, so it's fucking great.
He's great. All right. Continuing with our Money in the Bank review. After that match happened, I think we can both agree best match of the night, best result of the night, and that would be the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Great match. This is now, I said that, I texted you guys, this is now they had a better Royal Rumble, they had a better Elimination Chamber, they've had a better Elimination Chamber. Put some respect on the women of the WWE. They have been not just outperforming the men, but beating the shit out of them in these gimmick matches this year.
Yep.
So I really want to give the props to the women for that. I thought that every single woman had a moment. Zoe Stark might have botched hers, but it's okay. Every woman. She fucking smacked her head in the ladder, and I was like, oh, no, that was her moment.
Oh, shit,
too.
that hurt. That hurt.
But every woman did have it, whether it was that, and then we had Io Sky with that fucking crazy, off the top of the ladder.
Oh yeah.
Fucking smacked her head through the ladder. That was insane.
That was
Chelsea
great.
Green, we think this is going to be her moment. She takes a gnarly fucking bump of the night from the top of the ladder through 2 tables.
That was dope.
Sets up Tiffy time. I thought this match was perfect, and Tiffany Stratton is. I can already see her coming out Friday with a pink briefcase, and she's gonna hold this for a while. It's gonna be her and Nia, and she's gonna be like, Nia's the world champion, and if Nia loses, I have the briefcase, and they're gonna be the mean best friends. It's gonna be great. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I think this is the best match. It was, man. I've been saying for some time now. I feel like the women in WWE could have their own pay-per-view. Like
they need one, bro.
Bro, it's almost like there's not enough time to see the other possible matches you could have. Like, so they need their own pay-per-view because it's more entertaining to me. The stories their stories are getting better, but their athleticism in the ring and things they're doing is just fucking great. You know what I mean? Tiffy time, I think is dope. I'm happy with her. I'm happy with her winning. Because again, it's time. I thought Chelsea, but because you can just tell it's time for some, not changing of the guard, but you're kind of starting to kind of usher in these new like superstars, and so it's time to elevate them in these spaces. So Chelsea, she's gonna be next. I can definitely see that. Tiffy, I think is great. Again, it just changes, because you get tired at some point. It's like, to me, I tell you all the time, like seeing Becky win shit is boring to me because like, okay, whatever. Like this right here, I think it's a great move, great time. I can see her milking this shit all the way out. I think because the play, even on social media, the play with her and Nia is like they're best friends.
Yep.
I can see that going, you know what I mean? But I fucking love it. Like, milk this shit out. Like, great. Yeah.
This was the best part of the night. I agree.
No, it's great.
Then we get to the main event. we had the Bloodline 2.0, but they just called them the Bloodline. You ain't going to get that same respect from me. You are Bloodline 2.0, always and forever. Solo and the Tongans, a.k.a. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu, which I think a lot of people were surprised that it was Jacob Fatu and not Tama Tonga and Tongaloa.
Mhm.
But as we saw throughout the match, they made the right call there.
Yep.
He fucking couldn't even hit a low blow. We'll get to that. So fucking the match overall was a pretty...
That makes me
The match
grimace thinking
overall
about
was-
you try to hit this guy in his nuts multiple times and miss.
He hit his brother in the face.
Fuck, bro. What are you doing? Like, literally,
So-
he's like, oh, my bad. Oh, do it again.
Yeah. Punch KO right in the asshole. He did, bro. KO was like, the fuck did he do? Oh, okay.
Good.
Okay. There we go. All right. So the match was good. I loved the Jacob Fatu and Randy Orton when they came in, and Randy Orton had a spike DDT, and Fatu was like, like that shit doesn't
Ate
bother
that
me.
shit. I was like,
Like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I think Fatu looked great. I think he looked the best in the match out of everyone in the match, including the person who got the pin. I think Jacob Fatu looked the best in the match. Just keep in mind what that says. Once he hit a whisper in the wind in the corner, I was like, I knew it. He was Umaga and Jeff Hardy. I gave the perfect comparison. He hit a fucking whisper in the wind, and then he went, and I was like, oh my God, I was fucking dead on. He's a Jeff Hardy and Umaga mixture in the one.
Yep.
And then, okay. So for those of you who don't know, Tongaloa took a suicide dive and smacked the back of his head under the announce table. Buddy was knocked, okay? So Buddy still had a spot to do with a low blow. And that's why what happened, and he, kind of fucked it up and then sold that RKO and died. And then we got to the finish of the match, and I want to know if you agree with me. I got the same vibes as the Sammy Braun match, where it was one Samoan Spike, 1, 2, 3. That's it. One Spike to Cody. I felt the same way. I was
With
like,
Cody's thing?
the fuck?
Ain't no more fight, Cody? That's it?
Okay, what's gonna happen? Pay-per-views over? No, Roman, Jimmy, Jay,
Somebody?
Paul?
Anybody here?
Brock?
Yeah.
Pay-per-view's over, and then it ended. And I was like, what the fuck? What the hell just happened? I had a very anticlimactic feeling to the end of this pay-per-view. Same feeling I had, like I said, with the Sami Zayn match.
Yep. I 100% agree. I think at the end of that match, I was like, Roman, somebody's music is gonna pop. Is it really going off right now? Like, is that it? I felt the same way about Sammy and Braun. With Cody getting hit with Samoan Spike one time, and I was like, okay. I thought this was gonna be the more pissed off Cody, who would have like kind of got up and fought through that one. You know what I mean? But it wasn't. It was kind of confusing a little bit to me. But you know what they do? They in WWE they not drag you, but they kind of take you on this long ass fucking journey to build you up. And I was like, okay, this has to be what's happening here again, where they're dragging this thing out and taking the story, down yonder and shit, so they can ultimately take you to the place they want you to get to. Which to me, I didn't think. I know I kept seeing a lot of reports that Roman was coming back this weekend during that pay-per-view. I didn't believe it because his dad had just passed away. And I think maybe had his dad not passed away at that time.
No, he was at the funeral. I saw
Yeah,
clips
so
online,
that's what I was thinking, like,
he was at the funeral.
Yeah, when his dad had not passed away, maybe potentially, but I was like, nah, I could see him not coming back right now. But Jimmy, I think, is close to coming back as well. But it just seems like Jimmy's pop wouldn't be the same unless it's like Roman. You know what I mean?
Jimmy's pop has to be exactly. It has to be like an Avengers Assemble. Like Paul comes back, then Jimmy comes back, then Roman comes. You know what I mean? It has to be like an everybody comes back one by one, and the pops go, oh, you know what I mean? And then you just
that one scene from I think it's from the Marvel movie. I think it's Civil War. I think, but when they're all at the line and shit, and like Thanos and all his dudes at the line, they all kind of stuff. got to start just appearing and shit. You got that kind of feeling.
Yes, that's what I mean.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's got to be that. Yeah.
That's exactly how it needs to be. I agree, 100%. And then
Yeah.
even Jay, you could literally do Paul, Jay, Jimmy, Roman. Each pop gets bigger and bigger and bigger until Roman comes out and that place fucking explodes.
Bro,
dude, that place, if you
man.
genuinely think about it, if they do it right, okay, and Roman comes back the right way, and they do the face-to-face of Bloodline 2.0 and Bloodline, that arena is going to be shaking.
Oh,
that
man.
place is going to be fucking, oh my God. Like, I cannot wait to watch these people fucking beat the shit out of each other, and I think that's great. I think that's
what
we're looking for.
It gives me, you know how, like, in the Black Panther movie, like when he goes and like sees like the elders and all the other Black Panthers, whatever, it gives me that kind of vibe too.
Yeah.
Because I can see, like, Jay's out there and Jimmy comes out to help him, and then because you got a lot of people in their family line. I mean, just in their heritage, so to speak, that to me is making an appearance. Old guys, some new guys coming up that you bring out, and I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, it could be a huge pop. But that was to me. But Roman being the last one puts it all over. But the one thing about all of it to me is after we get to this point, then what is going to be like? What do you do next after Civil War? I mean, I'm already thinking about that. Okay, Roman's coming back. They're going to fight.
I can't think that far, OG.
Oh,
I
man.
can't do that.
That's
can't because here's my problem. Here's my problem. If I think that far, I'm already gonna look past the Civil War. And I don't want to look past the Civil War because I have a feeling that this Civil War is going to have a lot more twists and turns than we expect. I feel like WWE is expecting us to look at this Civil War very black and white, and there's going to be some twists and turns, whether it's with Zilla, whether it's with The Rock, whatever it is. I think there's going to be some other things that happen that, keep us, like that.
Why do you think that with the Anoa family, why do you think they've never had a female bloodline member yet?
I think that it's because their female bloodline, I think it's just not big enough. It just only gets long enough. I think they have, look at female bloodline. They have had Tamina, Nia Jax. That's it.
Oh.
And it's not like we're seeing people on the indies that are like Samoan women that are beasts.
You could say Dakota Kai. And
Dakota Kai, yes.
And Rock's daughter, I think. Yeah, but I don't know why she's not wrestling now. But it's like, I was just curious, like, man, because that would be a different twist. I agree though, because they set us up with some twists and turns to come.
I just think it's not big enough.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the guys' side, they already have 8 main eventers. Plus, there's, just for those of you who don't know, okay, because this might still shock you, OG. There's currently 3 more people on the independents that are. There's Zilla. I can't, and there's another tag team of 2 more that are in the family. There's still 3 more that could potentially, be signed in that company with The Rock. So, like, what I mean by is they have a bunch of guys and then some, whereas girls, they literally have to pick and find. But I think we got to move on because we did spend a lot of time on this, which isn't a problem because fuck cares, it's our podcast. But moving on from that pay-per-view, we had another pay-per-view that also happened. Let me just say right now, ladies and gentlemen, this felt like old. Were you around, OG, for NXT in like the prime NXT, like 2016, 2017, 2018?
Oh yeah, I was a little bit. Yeah, but it wasn't the main thing, so it wasn't just a little bit here and I peek into it a little bit. So
okay, this to me felt like that. It felt like when NXT would have a takeover pay-per-view and the WWE would have a pay-per-view and NXT blows WWE out of fucking water. That's what it felt like. That it was one of those old-fashioned.
This was fucking dope, bro. This was a great pay-per-view. Like, honestly, I think it was better. It's better than Money in the Bank.
Yes, it was. I gave this. I think I gave it a 9.5. Banger. It was a banger.
I was into every match. All the performances were great. Like, it was great. It was great.
I agree. So getting into
all my predictions didn't go right, but that's okay.
That's okay. I was gonna say I had 2 wrong. 3 for 5. First match of the night though. Obafemi, Wesley, That's just great. Oba Femi is an absolute monster. I think this man is. I mean, I love him. I love how he comes out to the ring and he's just. Like he's just so like chill about it. Like I'm about to beat the shit out of this guy. Like he's so like it's a game to him, and then he does, and he goes in there and he just beats the shit out of him. Right. He gave him an F10. I called it an F-150 when he did it because that motherfucker flung him like a helicopter, bro.
Bro, I watched it like 3 or 4 times. Like, did he just spin this man in the air like a fucking like a basketball on the tip of your finger? Bro, it was crazy.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes. They did some insane. Wesley, he's an insane athlete. Obafemi, insane athlete, and both these men just did insane moves back and forth to each other until Obafemi got the win. Fantastic match. And then, did you see NXT last night?
No, I didn't. I tuned in. I think I caught like a part of it, but I don't know what the hell I was doing last night.
Did you see what happened with Wesley?
Yeah. That was cool.
That's what I want. Okay, so that's what I want to touch on. So then on NXT, they gave the angle of Wesley leaving the company, and as he's about to like say, "I'm leaving," the Rascals music hits. Yeah. We have them from TNA, and for those of you who don't know, originally the Rascals before NXT was Wesley, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz. Those 3 men, right? Mm-hmm. Once they came to NXT. Zachary Wentz was signed with Wesley. They were MSK. They went on to win the NXT Tag Team Championships. They were a great tag team. Zachary Wentz got, what do you call it? I was going to say eliminated. Oh, released because there was false allegations. It was a whole thing like against him. Turned out they weren't true. But glad that he's back because kind of got his career fucked over on a liar type of situation, right? Went to TNA, and then Wesley became a single star. He went back with Trey Miguel to do the Rascals thing. So now this is the first time that all 3 of them are all back together at NXT, and they hugged and they came together and they did it. It was a cool moment. It was a really cool thing. So if you know the background and all that, you know what I mean? Like that was really cool for them. And those 3 guys, if you aren't familiar with the other 2 guys that Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, they're just Wesley. Crazy acrobatic motherfuckers. So, love that for them. And then Obafemi is still the reigning beast of a champion. Love that for him. WW. We're winning.
Well said.
And then we get to the second match of the night. I thought this match was so good.
Wait, man, this match was probably one of my favorites of the 2 pay-per-views. Like again, we talk about the women in WWE, NXT, whatever you want to say. Like that was a fucking banger of a match. What was the move? What was the move? It was so many moves, and to me, I was like, oh my god, like that's just crazy. Like it's just dope moves, man. And at the end of it too, like they did, they kind of like gave each other some love, kind of respect thing, whatever. But it just some extremely athletic women in the WWE put in a fucking banger of a fucking match. Like,
and you know what's crazy? Do you know what's crazy about all this? OG, 1 year ago, neither of these women knew how to fucking wrestle. They were both one was a surfer, one was a gymnast, and they brought them into the performance center. And a year later, look at them. So anyone who says the PC doesn't fucking work.
Wait, deal. So you're telling me Maxine Dupree has hope?
Yes, she does have hope. So anyone who doesn't think the performance center fucking works, it works. Because Ricochet literally tweeted out a sequence of their moves and goes, me and Will Ospreay did this on the Independents. Do you know what that means? When Ricochet is saying him and Will Ospreay are doing the same thing that Sol Ruka and Kalani Jordan are doing when they didn't know how to wrestle a year ago. Like, that's insane, bro. That's and I was so happy. It got to a point where, and I think you'll probably be the same way, where once Kalani won, I was like, I don't even care. I was wrong. That was so good.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't even matter. Didn't even matter. I was like, this is a fucking banger match. I love it. Like,
I was like, damn. I hope I see it again. Genuinely.
Yep.
It was fucking amazing. Next match that we will get to is, and I think the only problem with this match is it was so good that it kind of overshadowed this match because this you know what I mean? This match was good, but it wasn't great.
No.
And the problem is you had a great match, a better match, and then you had a pretty okay match. Okay, here's my thing. It was an okay match, and the last 5 minutes of the match were good. Last 5 minutes of the match, it really picked up, and I was like, okay, here we go. Shit's popping off. And then they made Lola Vice look really good. She ate 1 Pop Rocks, kicked out.
Yeah.
She ate another Pop Rocks on the announce table. That table had no give.
Yeah.
No give. She kicked out. And then she hit 2 more Pop Rocks. So 4 Pop Rocks she had to hit to pin Lola Vice. So I will say they made Lola Vice look really good. But Roxanne retains, which I think is a smart choice, because now it has been reported that not only has Julia been signed to NXT, but the WWE today has signed a deal with Stephanie Vakir, the CMLL and New Japan Women's Champion, who just competed at Forbidden Door against Mercedes Moné, is now going to be in NXT. You have Julia, you have her, and you have Roxanne Perez for that Women's Championship. And this NXT Women's division just got crazy, which is already an insane statement because it's already so good.
No.
Yeah.
It's a stacked card. Like, it's perfect. I'm perfectly fine with kind of where they're going, what they're doing. When Lola got hit with the Pop Rocks like 4 or 5 times, I was like, holy shit. That's a point to me. It takes us back to a conversation we were having earlier about Ron and Sammy, and like that. Like, she had 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
They made her like she was a beast. Like, you had to hit her.
They made her look better than Braun and Cody.
Yep.
Which is crazy, considering last week she gave the worst promo of the year. Did you see that shit?
No, I didn't.
Bro, it was the worst promo of the year. She comes out bawling her eyes out.
Is this the one she's crying about her mom and shit?
Yeah. So I think she's about to say like all these like her mom and like is sick and like hard times and that, bro. She's crying and she goes, "My mom was pregnant with me and had to take karate classes for self-defense." That was why she was crying. And we were supposed to be like, everyone was like, the fuck? What? And that was her reason. She's like, if my mom had to do karate, I'm gonna fight for her. And it was like, what? It was bad, man. It made no sense. So I was like, okay, she needs to look really good in this match because the promo was pretty bad and
she was terrible.
She did. She looked really good.
I did catch the end of that one and she was crying and shit and talking around. I was like,
oh, dude, it was bad. She said she was basically saying the reason she needed to fight for her mom was because her mom had to do karate when she was pregnant with her.
Then she said that she wanted to be able to give her mom a phone call or some shit, call her mom up or something like that.
Yes, tell her mom that I did it. I'm a champion. We're champions, blah, blah, blah. Well, I hate it because I hate when wrestlers that are Spanish, the only person who speaks Spanish and English is Damian Priest. Everyone else will just translate what they say.
Yeah.
Damian Priest, or like Rey Mysterio will sit someone backstage and be like, "Hey, mi amigo, my friend." Like, we know what the fuck you're like. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll translate what he's fucking saying like immediately after what he says. It'll be like, "Can you give me el pencil? Can you give me the pencil?" And he will translate what he says. And we're like, dude, you didn't. Why did you say it in Spanish and then say it in English? Damian Priest is the only person who will actually like say something in English and then say something else in Spanish. And I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't know what he said.
And kind of leave it at that. Yeah, no, that's funny. Yeah.
I hate when they translate themselves immediately after. And Love the Vice kept doing that during the promo. And I was like, speak a fucking language, okay? Yeah. And then stay at one.
Jeez.
Next match we had. It's a pretty fucking good match.
That was a good match, man.
This is a banger match. This match, I was in shock at how good this match was because the first half of the match was pretty much just Duke Hudson versus these two. It was just Duke University against these guys. That's basically what it felt like. Once Chase U broke up that pin, hit that fucking Canadian Destroyer, and then the next 10 minutes of the match, they were off to the races, bro. They were cooking. I think every single person in this match looked amazing. I think actually out of everyone, Duke Hudson probably looked the best.
Yeah.
Just considering that I wasn't expecting him to come out looking that good. And yeah, in a tag team division that's very depleted, they put on an amazing tag team match.
You know what's funny? As I was watching it, I thought Chase U might pull it out. But one thing that's interesting how they work in tag teams. I feel like they worked in a way that almost they're setting them up for singles. It's like you really don't want to work them as a tag team. They're working them together right now, but ultimately you can see them doing singles action.
You talking about Chase U?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. I agree.
But honestly, they did that a lot in WWE altogether, where they put people together like as a tag team. But the singles, events are coming for these people. They're just together right now for whatever reason. The tag team division in wrestling still isn't as strong as it used to be. Like
Yeah.
you guys are staying together.
I give Andre Chase a lot of props for competing in any type of 5-star match with a sweater vest on and sweatpants.
Oh yeah,
That's
bro.
insane.
That was fucking crazy, bro.
That's
While I was
insane.
watching, I was like, bro, you gotta be hot as shit, like, bro.
Bro, he's got to be dying in that shit.
God.
After he hit the Canadian Destroyer and I looked at all the sweat on him, I was like, oh, that's only half the story. The sweat on his head is only half the fucking story because I can only imagine when he just gets in the locker room. I've had this a couple times after I play hockey. He probably gets in the locker room, takes his shit off, and steam.
Oh yeah, they probably got to cut his ass out of that shit, bro. Bro, he has to be fucking like, man, no way, dude.
Can't get Andre out of the sweater again.
Fuck no.
God damn it.
Scissors.
Need some scissors. Andre's back in
Yeah.
the fucking sweater. All right, main event time. Okay. I feel like match of the night. First off, and we already had so many good matches.
Yeah.
But I think this match was tied with Kalani and Sol Ruka for match of the night. That's my opinion. But the Fatal 4-Way was insane. Javon Evans, you're insane. The shit that you do is insane.
I keep telling myself it's 20 years old.
I think 19 or 20.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
I think he's my age. I think I'm old. No, I think I'm older than him.
That's crazy.
I think I'm older than Javon. And Javon is insane. This is Javon's first pay-per-view match. And it was a world title match. And he looked great, and he didn't get pinned.
Yep.
Oh, no, he did get pinned. He did get pinned, right?
Oh, yeah, he did get pinned.
Yeah. But still, he looked great. Like, fucking fantastic. Sean Spears, I thought he looked really good. Beat the shit out of everybody with a chair. Like, giving C4s to everybody in the corner. It was great. Trick, knee and everybody. Trick was over as fuck. He was the most over guy in the match. The crowd loved him.
Absolutely.
I think everyone expected him to retain. But the finish of the match, I said it earlier. A match can be good, but if a finish is bad, fuck the match.
Yeah.
This is the opposite.
Yeah.
This was a good match and a great finish. You hit the knee, you hit the other knee, Trick gets pulled out. The 1, 2, 3, Trick with the oh my god, reaching, ego waking up, realizing that he just won the match. I thought it was perfect. I loved it.
No, I did too. Because I'm like, wait, what the fuck just happened? I was like, wait, Trick lost? I was like, and so I had to look at it again. To me, I was like, holy shit, Trick lost. Not even on a real pin. It just so happened that Ethan just happened, was laid out. I'm like, that was a great ending because it made me who I watch NXT, but it definitely made me want to tune into NXT when it came on. I was like, I want to see what happens next. That's the kind of shit to me that draws you back in. That's good storytelling. That was good shit.
Well, because now what we saw in NXT is it's so great because all ego is talking all this shit and everyone's like, you're the most undeserving motherfucker. You do not deserve it. And he's like, Ethan Page.
Love it.
You know what I mean? Like he's like, sorry, I'm the champ. Like, it sucks to suck. And I think it's good because you can set up I think you got to set up all ego and Trick, but it's a stipulation. We need something. It can't be another one-on-one match. I think, you know what I mean? Whether it's a street fight or whatever it is, I think these two need to go one more time because their next pay-per-view is like, it's not like what do you call it? Like at a arena. It's at the NXT place, which normally means you can get away with more crazier match stipulations. So I think they need to run that one final time. It would be their only second singles match, like a second time, in a stipulation, and I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at all. That was a good fucking match, man.
Pay per view.
I went into a thing that Trick was gonna win it.
Loved it.
But Yeah, I like a good ass story.
Yeah,
Layer it up.
it
Layer it
was
on.
great, and I like we said before, loved this pay-per-view. Sorry, Money in the Bank, but y'all got smacked. They bitch
Oh,
slapped you
oh,
guys.
yeah, they killed you. Oh, absolutely. And Dale,
They
I got something for you.
all right.
So last one we talked about who killed WCW.
You know what's great?
Hmm?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Look, so watching it, first of all, it took me back to my era of wrestling, which is fucking phenomenal, which is a great time to be alive. Fucking,
Yes.
I remember changing the channel, my brother and I going from WCW to WWE, just back and forth.
Really?
At one time we had one TV on WCW and one on fucking Raw. It was fucking great. Like that was
Really?
uh,
I love
that
that.
was great. It was great shit. You know what I mean? And so in watching it, I really, and I didn't tell you earlier because I was saving for the podcast. My take on who really killed WCW. I don't believe it was Hogan. I
Really?
would no, and which is fucked up to me because who I believe did it, it was the execs. It was the guys really making the decision. I think that they didn't. First of all, they made some terrible decisions. They were giving away money like fucking stupid, like probably like just to get people there. But they really didn't care about the business of wrestling itself. And so even when they were trying to do things like, for those of you guys who didn't see it, what they were doing, because Turner owns all this shit. So if this business has some bad debt, they were just shoveling that shit over under WCW and making
Yeah.
WCW look worse and worse. And so to me, the execs and who were running shit is the ultimate of people to me who were behind destroying WCW. I think there were
Okay.
some bad deals. I had a shit, 50 different veteran wrestlers
Will
who were
you agree with me? Will you
behind.
agree with me that I said half of it was Hogan and half of it was Vince Russo? Will you agree with me on the half of Vince Russo?
Yeah, Vince Russo, bro. I remember watching him on there, and like so watching him now talk about it and watching remembering what I saw. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. I couldn't even compare him to. I mean, he just fucking he. I don't know. He fucked it up too. You know what I mean? It's
That's what
like,
I think. I
oh
think
man,
once he came in, that's when shit really took over. Because I say half for Hogan because I think the worst thing that happened was the two worst things that ever happened in WCW were the finger poke of doom and
hmm
then when Jeff Jarrett laid on his back for him. And the problem is Hogan was involved in both of them. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That's the thing. And we know that backstage the Jarrett thing was because Hogan like they couldn't agree on a finish because what was supposed to happen is Hogan was supposed to lose and Hogan used his creative control to say I'm not losing, and then that's why Jarrett said okay I'm just gonna lay on my fucking back for you, fuck you, or Vince Russo made him do it. Everything that happened. So that's why I think it was Russo who was unprofessional. I think it was Hogan who was what's the word? Not too professional, but selfish, too
yeah.
selfish. And that clashing led to the worst events, the two worst things in WWE happening. And then obviously everything that added on top of it being Eric Bischoff leaving, the executives, Kevin Nash when he gained power for a little bit. Like there were so many things
It's
that it
true.
just
Bro. It's shit.
snowballed.
Kevin Sullivan. It got really weird, but that reminds me of uh um I think his name's Conan. He talked a lot about how guys were backstage. All those things added to it to me, like how guys spoke about each other, entitlement. It was crazy, all the kind of drama behind the scenes to me. But still, at the end of the day, the people at the very top, they didn't give a fuck about what was happening. That's why they brought fucking Russo in and shit. And it's like they didn't really give a fuck. I mean, some of the setups. I remember the pay-per-views. I remember all that shit. And like now watching it, I'm like, yo, these cheap little like, they're just treating like shit. I remember like throwing shit, like the shit that was happening, man. You can just tell that like they didn't really give a rat's ass about it. I remember the moment of finding out. I remember watching WCW and Vince McMahon now is on WCW. I remember that
Yeah.
moment. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because again, there was no social media. There
Well,
was
what was
there,
okay? So you at the time, this is actually great for me because obviously I wasn't alive. What was you as a wrestling fan, your genuine reaction to that?
what the fuck is going on?
Okay, so
Like it was mind
you
blowing. Like literally, I told you we had two TVs.
uh
So I'm watching Raw, and now I look over here, and I'm like, my brother's, we looking at him like, wait, why the fuck is Vince McMahon on WCW? And right there, it's like the lid is being blown off right in front of our faces. It's like, what is going on? So that was a crazy
were
moment.
you guys excited or were you guys like, oh fuck, WCW is fucked?
Yeah, because you got to remember too, at the time, again, you didn't have the social media aspect of things, so we had like magazines and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Have a newspaper article if they were coming to town that you might get to read a little bit about your stars. But like seeing Flair and Hogan and dreaming of those kind of moments, these kind of, you know what I mean? It's like saying Osprey versus, fucking Roman
Rowan.
Reigns. Those kind of
Yeah.
matchups you're doing in your head. Like we're like, wait a second, this
So
can
you
actually
start a
happen.
fantasy booking
Oh
immediately.
fuck yeah!
Okay,
That's
I
just
love that.
fuck,
I
that was
love
great.
that.
Yeah, it was great. It was a
I
great
feel like,
time. But
hey,
before we
I
know it
feel like
though, they were.
nowadays we would
Mhm.
do the same thing if it was like AEW with
Oh
WWE.
yeah,
We'd
same
do the
thing.
same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, same thing. Yeah, but I remember when they started showing, they started appearing on WWE, like what that was like. Because
Yes.
they with the takeover kind of thing. Which
Yes.
again, watching the documentary, it showed you kind of how they were kind of beating a dead horse with a lot of the different story angles they were playing, NWO and that kind of shit. However, it was really really cool to see those guys come back because like Diesel, he was there before and laughed and shit, comes back now, and the character is so much more improved, and it was
Uh-huh.
just cool to see. But like that moment of seeing Vince on WCW was like, you know what I mean? It's like seeing fucking somebody like a fucking Dallas Cowboy on Alliance or some shit. You're like, what the fuck is he
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
here?
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of how I felt, man. And it
It's
was,
like
but
seeing
it was
Tony
so cool.
Khan. It's like seeing Tony Khan on Raw. What the fuck is he doing
Exactly,
here?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Couldn't promo. Like what? Yeah, it's
uh,
exactly that, man. But it was a great time though. But to me, it's like as a fan, it pisses me off at how like the exec how they were doing the business side of things. Because even when they were going toe to toe and they were WCW, they said I think 83 weeks. They said they had beat Raw's ass. Like that was pushing, that was driving the creative juices over in Raw and in WCW, and that was great. You know what I mean? As a fan, to hear that like the execs just kind of pissing on it, and not really. It wasn't people who were into wrestling who were running it. You know what I mean? There's like any and everybody who wanted to throw that name in a fucking ring to have some creative say. It was kind of letting it happen. You know what I mean? And some of those guys were wrestlers, but it's like that doesn't mean that that's a good move. You know what I mean? And I just felt like as a fan, I was so like disappointing to see kind of how that played out because WCW by all means could have stayed alive.
right. Yeah, 100%. They had a bunch of factors going, as much as factors they had going against them. I feel like they had a lot of factors going for them. And the
Yeah,
problem is that they just didn't see those factors for them and eventually let those factors walk away.
yeah,
And that, you know what I mean? Fucked it.
yeah.
But I'm glad that you watched it. I'm glad we talked about it. I think Dev is on episode 1. So once he's done, we can have a whole group discussion on here about who we really think killed the company.
The other thing about this era of time is all the shit behind the scenes, like drugs, alcohol, all that shit. Not saying that it's not there now, but in that day and age, it was different then. Like those guys, I mean, it was all the crazy stories that these guys share. I mean, I actually watched a Paul Heyman on Peacock,
Uh-huh.
like a behind the ring or dark side of the ring kind of thing
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Paul
yeah,
Heyman.
yeah, yeah.
Shit like that's interesting to me because you get to see behind the curtain and about all the different things and what guys are really doing. And interesting about the Paul Heyman one, he credits Jim Ross for schooling him and teaching him. And I was like, that's pretty badass, you know what I mean? But all these things help add to the stories. The stories you see
I
now,
agree.
all these components add to the story. You know what I mean? I think, I don't want to see, that's why I like compared to seeing the Hogan thing. Like, they try to keep bringing Hogan back. People don't want to see fucking Hulk Hogan. But like, it's just these kind of points to me. It's like they've learned that they can learn from what happened in the past. But also, there's some things now that they could also reuse. Like, talk about the Ricochet and Osprey, talk about how this match is literally mimicking their entire match. So some things really worked well, some things didn't. I think you can improve on some shit, but honestly, it's like that's what makes me. I'm okay with AEW being around because I think at some point, if WWE is the only thing you watch, it's like they need some competition to fucking drive the creativeness. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to have something pushing the button because if not, you know, it just gets boring. And I think like this, it makes AEW's making them have. You got to step your game up. Even to talk this week
Yep.
about Shane appearing on AEW. You need this to drive shit. You need, you know what I mean? That keeps people watching. You
It
need that
doesn't
shit.
even need to be AEW. It could be their own product.
True.
NXT just bitch slapped them.
True.
NXT just made them. They made them have to step up their game because they just fucking blew them out of the water. And now people are going, oh, well, NXT is back to better than WWE, and WWE's gonna. They got SummerSlam next. You think they're not gonna go balls to the walls for this SummerSlam? You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
even their whatever the competition is, TNA, New Japan, AEW, NXT, It's all great. And I think that's why, as a wrestling fan, I'm going to say this once and one time only. All you motherfuckers on Twitter who are one way and have your head up fucking Triple H's ass or Tony Khan's ass, or you only see it from one way and you're fucking fuck the WWE. Okay, I see so many people online who claim they're pro wrestling fans. I'm a pro wrestling fan. You go in their Twitter bio. I love all things pro wrestling. And then they hate on WWE. But WWE sucks. Or they'll be like, I'm the best wrestling fan ever. But they only love WWE. And everything else sucks. Take that shit out of your bio. You're a fucking liar. You don't love all things professional wrestling. You love your company. So
That's
stop lying. I'm talking to... you know who you fucking are because they're popular on Twitter. I'm trying not to name drop, but I want to name drop. I'm not gonna. But there's certain accounts where it's just consistent bashing WWE or consistent bashing the other competition. If you motherfuckers can just live your life like me, like OG, like Ennis, like Devin, and just watch all wrestling, and when it's good, think it's good. When it's bad, think it's bad, and just continue to live on your life, because you know that the next pay-per-view or the next show is the next day, and you can look forward to that, it's a lot better. That's my rant on that. Because I hate people that are like, I love professional wrestling, but then they only love one company. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. You just love that company. So
you know the thing that they miss out, that people miss out on, is because you know that these people move around all the time. So what happens is, if you haven't watched like Will Ospreay, you know, you haven't watched him from the beginning, you know what I'm saying, you've missed out on a lot. He'll appear in WWE in the blink of an eye. That's just how it goes. That's the business. The business
like
goes.
All these people today, when Stephanie Vakir signed with WWE, were like, damn, shout out to Stephanie Vakir for retiring. Missed her. She was a great wrestler.
Damn.
And it was like, are you fucking kidding me? And it was like, damn, this sucks for Stephanie Vakir, ripped her career. It was good when we had her. And it was like, you motherfucker. And that shit makes me mad, because it's like, all right, bro. She is literally she was holding 3 championships. She got vacated of 3 championships. 3.
That's wild shit.
Y'all are salty, okay? Y'all are mad because you guys were like, oh my God, she's finally in AEW. Nope, it was a Forbidden Door pay-per-view, dumbasses, and she was only there because she's in CMLL, and now she's not in CMLL, she's in WWE. So, and she's making more money. And she's doing something that's better for her career.
This is the interesting part, too. Like I saw this week that Drew signed with a talent agency. Like, I think CM Punk's there. There's a couple other stars there with the same talent agency. And like, these guys are making career moves. So they don't, I mean, they see The Rock, they see Cena. Like, their careers could be beyond, you know what I mean, just being in the ring. That's what they're trying to do. So how could you fault her? Like, to me, the WWE format, program, structure itself is built to make people bigger stars. So their promos are better, or whatever it can be. Everybody's trying to be the biggest star they can be. They're trying, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So start here. I mean, look how many people have successfully gone on to other areas, whether it's acting or other areas, to be successful. You know what I mean? Like, that, to me, that's the beauty of it. That's why you should pay attention to all of it. So that way you can see these guys move around, but also now you see this person who you think, oh, she's a great actress or action star. You're like, wait a second. She was a wrestler? Yeah, she was. These are the moments to me where it's like, just pay attention to all of it. Don't be ignorant and just kind of like, only silo yourself in a space where you only watch one particular thing. Learn how to watch them all, because you'll look up and you'll have these, you'll have fucking the bloodline over it and fucking TNA or some shit. And it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, just mix it up. Don't do yourself a favor and watch everything.
I'm glad we're on the same page on that.
Yeah.
I am. Weekend review. We're gonna try to do this really quickly because I know we're already pretty deep in this pod. Really quickly, weekend review. There was a couple things that happened. DIY won the WWE Tag Team Championships. They beat Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Banger match on SmackDown. We said this could have been on the pay-per-view, but I was really happy about this.
Yep.
Thumbs up for me.
Thumbs up. I think legitimate tag team. I'm happy to see it. Yeah.
Next, we have a new faction alert. We had a little bit of Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. Love it. I think these are 3 women that can just beat the shit out of you. These are 3 women that 2 of them have an MMA background. Zoe Stark it feels like she has an MMA background the way she beats the shit out of people. Sonya's going to be the mouthpiece. I love it. I think it's great.
Love it. It reminds me of like kind of that bloodline, just fucking people up shit. I love it. Like just beat people's ass.
These are three badass women.
Love it.
Yeah. Next, just making sure this is okay. Yeah, I wanted to get this before that. The Wyatt Six. I want to talk about this really quickly because the last thing that we had from them was actually, I don't know if you caught it, a Wyatt Six face reveal. In the videos, they were showing the mask, and then they showed everyone behind the mask. They showed Gacy, they showed Rowan, they showed Dexter, they showed everybody. It was kind of like a face reveal, and then one final video leading up. And then after the video, they showed him sitting, Bo Dallas, in Adam Pearce's office, waiting for a one-on-one conversation, which in all of our heads leads he wants a match at SummerSlam.
I love the face reveals. Some people were pissed about it. They've been talking shit about them. They're not happy.
No, I think it was done perfectly. Because a lot of people didn't even know they did it until they saw Twitter and were like, oh shit, they did.
You know, the funny thing is that Bray kind of had that kind of moment too. Like, you know, he went to the fire to the fun house and then he was a fiend. Like he had that kind of thing too. To me, I love it. It's awesome. I'll add to that and say I saw that this week that Alexa is back in the gym. So she's gearing up for a return. So to me, like I love it. Love it. Love and seeing where it can go.
So that is, and then final thing, she's back. She's back. Mommy's home. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not catch the ending of Monday Night Raw, Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan won a mixed tag team match. WWE basically said this is the last day that we have without Rhea Ripley. So we're going to go crazy with Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. And boy, did they go crazy. They started off with Liv Morgan calling him Daddy Dom and saying, tonight we're going to show who the real daddy of the Mysterio family is. Jesus. Then we move to backstage where she is stretching out his groin. And Dom's like, oh, that actually kind of like that. Actually feels good. And then the boys pop in Three Stooges style. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Carlito, that was so great. When he was like, I don't know, that's pretty hard to me. That was great. And then the final thing was there was another thing. Dom went headfirst into Liv Morgan's lap, and Liv kind of sat there for a minute in the corner and was like, I like this. And then we got to the finish of the match when the match was over, when I loved the storytelling of Dominic being like so happy that he just finally beat his dad for the first time, that he got caught up in a celebration and was just like, I'm so happy. And he gave her a hug. You know what I mean? And then Liv took advantage of that and pulled him onto the ground and was like, now kiss me. And right as Dom is having this moral dilemma of, oh my God, I might actually kiss you. This is my brutality. Fucking Rhea comes back. It was great. It was great.
I should have. I kicked myself. I said I should have known when they said Dom and Liv were going against Ray and Selena as a main event.
Once it was main event, I knew she was coming back.
I was like, oh, Rhea had to be. I should have known. I was, that was great. Like this is it at its finest. Yeah. Now where does this go? Because so I watched the end of Raw, and Dom's trying to explain, and Rhea's like kind of like pushing him to kind of get out of my face, and kind of like one last push, and kind of walks behind stage, whatever. And I was like, lay it on, guys. Tell this fucking story. It's great.
I think it's going to be great. And I think the whole story, now I see the memes. I don't think it's going to be a custody for Dominic match. I think it's going to be a World Heavyweight Championship match, but I do think that Dominic is going to play a huge part in this story, obviously, with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. And I'm very curious as to, I think that there's a clear, in my head, I think there's a clear goal where you can go here. And that is, if you want to, whether she's champion or not, you can end this feud with Rhea Ripley as the biggest women's face on the roster. If you do it correctly. If you correctly have Dominic fuck over Rhea and join Liv, Rhea's a tweener, but the people love her. Mm-hmm. She is supposed to be a heel, but she gets cheered a lot. So that makes her a tweener. If Rhea becomes a face right now, the people are like, we already want to cheer her. Give us a reason to cheer her. And Dominic is, you know what I mean? So I think if they do it right, they can do that.
But that would be great because Dom's the ultimate villain.
Exactly. Dom can turn her face 100% by leading her on and then fucking her over. So
that would be ideal. And the other part, like with Finn, whatever's happening with Finn, like how Damien said something to him and he walked out and Finn's kind of like like yes, what you think or something like that he said. But like I think that would be an amazing way. I would even be okay if Dom cost. That's how they would do it. Dom cost Rhea the championship, and now Dom's out. You know what I mean? But this is great. All the possibilities that you can go with this whole. I mean, with Judgment Day, with Rhea's back now, with what Liv's doing, because Liv always smirks at the end of it. Whatever she does is almost like, I don't really care about you, Dom. I'm just fucking with Rhea. It's almost like that.
Exactly.
Still great. Still good stuff.
I agree. I think she at the end of the day, she doesn't really like Dom. She just is. Yes, I agree. Yeah, let's do the top 5 and then we'll get the hell out of here.
Hey, Dijak, take those stupid sunglasses off. We're inside.
Oh yeah, deadbeat.
Just gotta shout out the shirt real quick. Deadbeat Dom, but Debbie Deb, just all support for my boy Dom. I just don't think he deserves it. He's actually the victim in this situation right now. If you want me to be completely honest with you, he's just a man caught in the middle between two beautiful women and has to deal with a deadbeat family around him. But anyways, let's get to the top 5. The top 5 is probably the toughest top 5 we ever had to fucking do.
Yeah.
This is not going to be easy, but let's get into it. So, first things first, the current top 5 is number 1, Uncle Howdy for the 3rd straight week. Paul Heyman, number 2. Drew McIntyre, number 3, moving down 1 spot from number 2. Number 4, Jey Uso, and number 5, Liv and Dom for the 3rd straight week at number 5. All right, I got a strong feeling this list is going to change. So, number 1. I don't think it's Uncle Howdy. Sorry. Hate to burst your bubble, but I think this is where he finally gets dethroned.
He does, definitely.
Okay. I have 2 people in my head. Okay? And I know that it's hard for you. But one of them is John Cena. I know it's hard for you. But ESPN had a segment about it on their fucking show. ESPN never talks about WWE. So in terms of people getting talked about, everybody was talking about, oh my God, John Cena's retiring. There was Twitch streamers and people reacting, freaking out over, oh my God, John Cena's retiring. So whether you like it or not, John Cena has a case for number 1 or number 2. He is the most talked about this week.
Okay, so we're just going off popularity.
We're going off of who is the most talked about right now in the world of professional wrestling.
Okay, who's your other option?
Okay. Option number 2, in my opinion, would be Solo Sikoa.
I'll go Cena 1. He's the most popular.
Or we could go Tiffy.
Nah, Cena's 1.
Cena?
Yeah.
All right, John Cena, number 1. Who are you thinking number 2? There's a lot of different cases. There's a lot of people you could.
I mean, you can make a case for CM Punk or Drew.
I think you could do. I think Drew should be in this top 5. I really do. Honestly, you know what? Number 2. What about Rhea Ripley?
Yeah, that's good.
I like that. I genuinely think,
So 3. I think that because you can make a case for Seth, Drew, or CM Punk.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, they are kind of.
I think we should do like one of them. I think we should do CM Punk and Drew McIntyre because I feel like they're tied in right now. They're together right now.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
So let's do at number 3. Let's do Drew and CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that. Number 4. I think number 4 should be Tiffany Stratton.
I'm okay with Tiffany.
Yeah, just won Money in the Bank. She's gonna. Yeah. I like Tiffany. All right. Sorry, Living Dom. I don't think you're number 5.
No,
I
not yet.
don't think so.
They're not
It's
on
just,
there yet.
no.
I
I
think
think you guys get dethroned.
I think it's Uncle Howdy.
Who?
Uncle Howdy. Or Bo Dallas. I can see
It's
Miz.
not that I'm literally just I'm just debating because I feel like Uncle Howdy would literally be like he would be 5 or 6. Do you know what I mean? That's what
Yeah.
I could make a case for DIY.
Oh, I don't know. Fuck no.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't
Not
think
yet.
so?
Like, they want it, but I think like they could be to me 6 or 7.
Okay, I agree with you there. I agree with
Yeah,
you.
because I think Rhea and Dom, that shit could be right before them.
Yeah.
But Alex Uncle Howdy, I think that could be right there. But it's not like I don't think the margin's really wide. I think they could be kind of rounded. I think with the fake.
But okay, so here's my thing. Are we really about to just leave the bloodline off this list?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think yet. You can see where they'll be up there coming, but I think with the other things we were talking about this week, I don't think the bloodline is. They could be like 8. You know what I mean? They're not top 5 yet, but I think it's coming, but not. I don't think yet.
Right. Okay. So I'm at Uncle Howdy or Damian Priest.
4, 5.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, I'm leaning more towards Damian Priest.
Really?
Yes, and the only reason why is because I feel like Damian Priest no, actually, you know what? No, I don't. I think I'm leaning more towards Uncle Howdy.
I just think
I think I'm leaning more towards Uncle Howdy because now that I'm thinking about it, what the fuck did he do on Raw? He didn't really do anything.
No, he talks shit. He called Rhea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll give you, I'll do Wyatt 6 at number 5.
Yeah.
So we have John Cena number 1, Rhea Ripley number 2, Drew and CM Punk number 3, Tiffany Stratton number 4, and Wyatt 6 number 5. I guarantee you this is going to change because John Cena probably won't be on WWE next week. So
that's true.
He could be number. This is the beauty of the list. He's number 1 this week. Next week he probably won't be on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can see him not being on for a couple of weeks. I can see him not being on this list.
Yeah.
But the other thing here, so one thing about the White 6 that I say is, you're leading us, but it's like at some point you gotta start. Something else has to happen. Like the appearance, it makes people go crazy. But it's like, okay, we also like now I'm to the point. Okay, now what? Where's everybody else? Like we need to see.
Well, I think
something.
that's what we just got. I think we just unveiled that with him going into Adam Pearce's office.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was the first thing that was like,
show me more. Yep.
Yes, because I think it's very like I love that they're in their own world with all these tapes, but at some point they have to come into the WWE world, right?
That's true.
That was the first time that we saw him actually come into the WWE world, and I have a strong feeling that if not this Raw or the next Raw, we're gonna have a clear indication at what that conversation was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I won't be surprised.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about? We only talked for an hour and a half.
No, man, that's it. I gotta go and watch the behind the scenes for WrestleMania.
Oh yes, I did watch that. I do want to say I had this in for last week, but WrestleMania 40 doc came out. It was great. I loved it. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it was fucking amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. It was great.
Yep, go and check it out.
All right. Thank you guys for watching the podcast. I need you guys to do 2 things for me, 3 things for me before you leave. 1, go over to Apple Music, Spotify, whatever platform you have. Check out Lesdu on all platforms. Thank you. We appreciate it. If you don't know, that's Dev. Also, go over to Sharps on the App Store. Make sure you use promo code TYCO011 when you sign up. It helps us, and it will help you as well. Thirdly, subscribe to the podcast. Like the podcast. Turn on notifications so that the rest of you 9 beautiful people that are in here right now can see every time that we go live. And we appreciate all of you. Deb should be back next week. OG should be here. I should be here.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you guys are also here next week. You tune in. Have a good one. Be good people. Do something nice for somebody.